just in handheld here, and then I'm going to do some overclocking and see how that performs. Before I throw up like the FPS, we'll just see. I'm recording at 60 FPS, so it should be able to capture this, but you can see the stutter there. Pretty bad. It doesn't affect the gameplay. I mean, this is a pretty challenging area, but you can see when you go up the hill there, it stutters. This is the very beginning of the game, so not really any spoilers. I'm going to do a battle on that too. I've already done one, but... Okay, so here we are back. I just reloaded because I want it to be the exact same spot. I'm going to just boost up the performance here. So we can see the CPU is running at 1000, so we'll put it up. Let's just go 1300 to start. GPU is at 460, so we'll put that up to, let's just say 5. And memory doesn't do anything. Yeah, let's just go with that. See if that makes a difference. Oops, I had the camera open. Oh wow, that's quite a difference actually. Still stuttering there, but it was, oh, actually there is quite a bit still there. A higher overclock now. We'll just throw it in. I was going to put 14, but I'll just go all the way up. So we'll just go like that there. This is I think this is what it runs in docked mode. 16, 14, I guess that's the memory for in dock mode. Now this is running at a lower, I'm assuming it's running at 720p or something along the lines of that. So this should run really well now. We'll test it in docked, of course, but this is running as if it was in docked in terms of speeds, but it's a lower resolution, or whatever it would be in handheld, I'm not sure, but... So you can hear the fan really ripping here, but we'll listen to this, we'll watch this scene with it basically maxed. Again, it's totally fine doing this, because this is what it would be doing in handheld, in terms of speeds and that, so. So you can see how smooth that is. Nice sandwich. You can see the basically the total lack of stutter when the camera pans automatically. So nice and smooth. Go. Where's she over here? Oh, it's just whatever the stock is, so 1048. And let's see how it looks now. Oh, look at that. It's so much more choppy. It's actually worse in person than on camera. So this is the stock handheld experience. I mean, it's still playable. Let's do a little battle against this pig guy. Lechunk. Nice. Like that. Oh, cool. You can turn during the battle. There's a little bit of slowdown here and there, like when the Pokeball went over the guy's head. The animation there did cause some, you can see the dithering in the background in the grass. It did cause some slowdown, but it wasn't bad. Let's go back down here. What the heck is that? Yeah, so you can see there is slowdown. Look at that. I wouldn't say it affects the game. I mean, you're probably going to play like this and kind of follow behind. But if there are serious pans, it does affect it. Let's just do a small overclock rather than like the full one to get it in handheld mode. Basically a docked mode. So let's go in the middle. So I don't know, let's go 15. Let's go with, I don't know, 7 maybe. So this may save a little bit of battery. Make sure that's stuck. Yep. But we're still running much faster than native. Yeah, that's great. That runs actually quite nice. So I don't think you need to put it in absolute, if you have a modded switch. I mean, the benefit of a modded switch, in my eyes, is that you can, I mean, homebrew it's fine. I don't really use homebrew other than the overclocking. That's great. The fact that you can overclock your switch and get what I would say is adequate performance out of these games is very enticing. Because, you know, it wasn't running that great. And you can see here it runs quite nicely now. Nice. So you can see that again. It's not bad. There's a little bit of slowdown at the speed. We'll just put it back at stock one more time because I want you to see that. Oh, you have to actually put it back manually. That's weird. You can see that there looking at that building over there. Let's, so, I mean, that might help, but let's turn that back down. Turn it down a little bit. We'll turn the GPU up. Let's just turn it way up. And we'll leave the CPU down. Let's see. I suspect it's probably a GPU thing more than a CPU, but who knows. Yeah, and there you go. I mean, that's way better. And the CPU is running at basically handheld stock, so 1000. Ooh, let's actually, while we're in this cutscene, I'm going to drop it back down. Okay, just like that, and we'll see what it looks like. So you can see there, the GPU at stock. I mean, it's fine. You could play like this. Like, if you don't have a moddable switch like I do, you're not going to play this and be like, oh, it's unplayable. It's fine. Hey, there's the little Firebird guys. I mean, you could really just come in here. You don't necessarily need to change the CPU, so you could just turn the GPU up. And I guess that's just the stock, I suppose. Okay, so here is the stock. It looks like it defaults to 1000 megahertz on the CPU, 76 on the GPU, and 1600 on the memory, which is interesting. That's off, so we'll just, I don't know, play like this and see how it looks. So it looks like it's same idea. Game looks good, to be honest. It looks really good on the large screen, very vibrant. But there's definitely some lag when you're turning. You can even see there, you know, there's some lag there. There's that cocoon thing. Okay, let's just go. Okay, we're gonna go back in here. We're gonna turn this back on, and we'll crank the GPU right up. We'll leave the memory and the CPU down right now. We'll just see how that looks now. So I just gave it a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. Be putting out a higher resolution, so there's just really not much we can do. Let's just turn things up a bit and see. That's a pretty high overclock right now. Yeah, so it's running better now. And it runs really well. So if you have a modded switch and you're going to play in docked mode, you could add a little bit of a CPU overclock and it really runs quite smooth then. You can see here it runs great. You're pretty much running the system close to full bore right now, and it runs great though. If you're in handheld mode, it does seem to run pretty laggy on just the default speeds. It's fine. You can definitely play the game and you're going to enjoy it. I wouldn't say it's a bad experience. If you do have a modded Switch, however, I would definitely throw on a little bit of a GPU overclock on handheld. When it's in handheld, it seems to run really well. But overall, it runs really fine. And there's probably going to be some patches over time to increase the performance. But so there you go. It runs pretty well. That's basically my very quick takeaway from the game. Runs well so far and looks great. Here's another area pretty bad. Like, look at how slowly these guys are moving. You can see that woman walking almost like glitching in the background there. And then when you get closer, she should walk normally. Yeah, there you go. Like, it's not just that it's dropping frame rate, it's also just going really slow. The takeaway is that the game is playable regardless if you can overclock or not, but it does have some dropped frames and lagginess, especially when you're panning the camera all around quite a bit, and that's even more prominent in larger areas. However, if you are able to overclock in handheld mode, just adding a GPU overclock is enough. You don't really need to do anything to the CPU, and that seems to solve all issues really in handheld. In docked, however, you do really need to overclock the entire system to really get acceptable frame rates. Here's another weird quirk that I found. I noticed that when I was battling, I'm in an area that has, I don't know, shadows or something. Look. So the camera, I guess, is assuming it has no path to the light, so it's in shadow. A little weird. Not the end of the world, but a little weird, obviously. Here's another weird bug. Apparently I can't get this item here. Yep, so this one can't be